Hi, everybody. I cannot believe that we are beginning week 4. We are almost halfway through. This week, we're continuing to look at the role of textbooks in content area classrooms. We're also going to be talking about the text feature elements that are found in nonfiction text and why it's more difficult for students to read and understand nonfiction text than it is fiction. By the end of the week, you will be able to determine the role of textbooks in content area classes, develop appropriate methods of using textbooks, determine the text feature elements in nonfiction text that make it more difficult to read, determine the aids in text that assist with readability, and understand 2 formulas used to calculate the readability of various passages. This week, from your text Subjects Matter, you're going to read Chapter 3, which is Why Textbooks Are Not Enough, and Chapter 6, which is How to Use a Textbook. You also need to read the Dyslexia Handbook on Moodle, What Every Teacher Needs to Know. This is an excellent resource. I would recommend that you save it onto your computer and also print out a hard copy to put with your files, your hard files. PowerPoint this week. There's our objectives that I just went over. Text features that we find in nonfiction. We all know the table of contents and the index, the glossary, the introduction. Think about some other features such as photographs, cutaways, captions, chapter summaries, subheadings, tables, graphs. All of those things are going to help children read informational or nonfiction text better. Here are some resources about text features. There's 50 Literacy Strategies Step by Step, which is a textbook, Strategies That Work, Our Textbook, Subjects Matter, Our Flip Charts for this course, and Education YouTube. I also want to mention that I emailed each of you some text features information today and text structure information. So please be sure to check your emails for those. Readability formulas. This is an analysis of text to give an estimate of the reading level a student would need to be successful to read a text. There are many, many readability formulas available. Most common variables used are sentence length, number of syllables, and number of words. And you need to remember that these readability formulas are an estimate. It's not black and white. It's a gray area. It's an estimate. Check out this readabilityformulas.com website. Tons of information. 2 of the most popular readability formulas are the Frye and the Smog. Frye was developed by Edward Frye, and it's based on a formula that counts the number of sentences and syllables and then plots the results on a graph. And it's the most widely used readability formula. The Smog was developed by G. Harry McLaughlin, and it estimates the years of education needed to understand a piece of writing. Also, which I'm sure that most of you know, Microsoft Word will also calculate the readability formula of your writing. And that is after the grammar check. Problems with readability formulas. Even though these formulas consider longer sentences more difficult to read, shorter sentences may explain ideas better than longer sentences. And these formulas don't take that into account. Oftentimes, you can be succinct in what you say rather than drawing it out and drawing it out and drawing it out. Multisyllabic words are often repeated in text and are counted every time they appear. Dialect and language differences may mean that syllables are counted differently by different individuals. As I said before, these readability formulas lack precision and are not meant to be exact. They do not take into consideration background knowledge or interest. When you're selecting a text, think about the format and the content variables that are going to help the reader. Content variables are the manner in which the facts, the events, and the concepts are related to each other. Do they make a connection for the students? Are there explanations? Do they give examples and analogies to help students understand it better? Treat ethnicity, gender, disability, and class fairly. Dyslexia. Your dyslexia strategy assignment is due week 5. Please watch the YouTube video on dyslexia at this link, and you can skip the commercial at the beginning. Google one source for information on dyslexia. You've already chosen your reading strategy. And I'm going to go over those PowerPoint responses in a moment. You have your forum, which your initial post is going to be due no later than Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. You're going to present a new or interesting idea from Chapter 6 of the Daniel Zemelman text. Please remember to respond to 2 of your classmates. PowerPoint response activities this week. Number 1 is to read through the Dyslexia Handbook, which you're not scored on that. So 2 through 7 are going to be scored on your document. Response 2, give a definition of readability formulas. Response 3, choose an example of a readability formula. Response 4, explain how your chosen readability formula works. Response 5, share a website link with the information on dyslexia. Response 6, share in the PowerPoint response document one teaching strategy to support students diagnosed with dyslexia. And response 7 is explain how your chosen dyslexia reading strategy works. Again, this is worth 30 points. And it's due by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. If you have any questions over week 4, please ask me. I want you all to do well. If you have questions about week 5, ask those also. Thank you.